Welcome. Today we will delve into the mysterious world of living nature, where the sizes and shapes of creatures sometimes go beyond the usual boundaries. And we will explore the question of how real these giants are and what they might mean for our world. At the very beginning of our research, we are struck by the fact a crocodile named Long was caught in the Philippines, measuring over 6 meters in length and weighing over 1,775 kilograms, which avoided hunters for 3 weeks and tore through steel cables with a breaking strength of up to 12 tons. How is that even possible? And immediately, the question arises, is this an exception, or conversely, a sign that there are creatures in nature whose sizes cannot be explained by standard laws? At the same time, a fish longer than 4 meters was found on the California coast, requiring 50 men to pull it out. Does this not raise concern? Does such a giant appearance signal future calamities and earthquakes? From time to time, scientists record individuals reaching 6 meters, and legends of sea monsters are nothing more than ancient tales or hidden memories of real giants lurking in the depths. Yet, can such astonishing sizes be natural? Or is this evidence of the limits that nature reaches? Limits we have yet to suspect. Does this mean our world is much larger and more mysterious than we have thought? What other surprises are hidden within the depths of the planet? And what secrets await us in the bottomless oceans? In the depths of unfathomable waters and amidst the lush, dense forests, creatures that evoke bewilderment and awe hide in every corner of the planet. Millions of years of evolution have taught nature to create species that fit perfectly into the chain of life, yet at the same time generate questions that until now have escaped human understanding. In the ocean depths, hundreds of species of animals live. Although most of them are well studied, only rare evidence, a faint whisper in historical memory, or a chance discovery bears witness to some. However, it is precisely in these rare moments that the astonishing nature of life manifests itself, capable of reaching sizes beyond human usual conceptions of scale. Let's at least recall some catch statistics. Think of the circles of hunters who stumbled upon giant jaws or massive bodies. For these evidences remain the brightest sparks in the darkness of the unknown. For example, Long the crocodile, who escaped control in the Philippines, is not an ordinary member of his species, having gifted the world a collection of photographs and videos. For several weeks, he avoided hunters, hiding in thickets or deep within his rivers, as if he were a living proof of the limits of what is possible in nature. His size, over 6 meters long, weight, over a ton. The forces he possessed were so impressive that only equipment 10 times more powerful than ordinary traps could cope with them. The steel cables used in an attempt to immobilize it were merely tiny fibers compared to the powerful muscles that allowed this reptile to literally break everything in its path. And yet, it had been avoiding hunters for 3 weeks, as if it knew their weak spots, as if it were a shadow in nature, hiding its true size behind some unknown charm. But the impressive size of this creature is not unique to reptiles. In October 2030, on the coast of the Pacific Ocean, a fish was found, an Atlantic herring, that exceeded all expectations in size. It stretched over 4 meters in length, and more than 50 strong men were needed to pull it ashore, each feeling every phalange of bone, every fin plate beneath their hands. These people, ordinary as anyone else, with their nerves and anxieties, were suddenly faced with live proof. Nature can produce creatures that humans have long considered fantastical. They fought, holding their breath, for every movement, knowing that the monster brought ashore calmly could be dangerous. And at that moment, concern arose. Could such giants cause new disasters? On the same day, 2 more fish about 4 meters long were discovered, and rumors of these giants immediately spread through local communities. This was a worrying confirmation that something was changing, that something was happening. Studies show that in nature, there are specimens of gigantic fish and animals reaching up to 6 meters. Many legends from various cultures about bloodthirsty snakes, terrifying monsters, sea serpents supposedly inhabiting the depths, are not merely products of imagination or folklore. The evidence is irrefutable, and although most stories are exaggerated, there are genuine observations documented through photographs, videos, or witnesses. Perhaps these giants are not dangerous to humans. They might feed on plankton, small fish, or something beyond our understanding. Yet, their enormous sizes evoke outright astonishment and raise open questions about the boundaries of living nature. Why are creatures of extraordinary size found in some marine regions? What mechanisms underlie such physiological capabilities? Are there yet undiscovered forms of life in the depths of the oceans, whose sizes cause horror and awe? Could it be that under certain conditions, the Earth produces supermassive monsters about which modern science only dares to conjecture? The precision and credibility of these accounts are an essential part of any investigation. All the facts together indicate that these giants are not accidental. They seem to be present in nature in much greater numbers than commonly believed. The vast horizons of the unknown are not a myth, but a reality. And as we delve deeper into this topic, it becomes increasingly clear. Nature has boundaries that we had not even suspected. These boundaries are shattered by the limits of our knowledge, expanding our understanding and prompting the most fundamental questions. What else remains hidden? Part 3 of 7. In what depths and depths do these very monsters hide? Whose size prevents the mind from accepting them as natural phenomena? And most importantly, are there scales in nature that could reveal even more astonishing discoveries to us? Add to this the mysterious connections that link legends, real events, and scientific observations. Within this tapestry lies an undeniable truth. Nature continues to surprise us. It makes us realize that our world is much larger and more mysterious than it first appears. What other unusual and incredible discoveries await us in the depths of this world? What wonders are still undiscovered? And how much do we have to learn to truly understand the boundaries of living matter? And in this lies a reflection of the very essence of the most living, most mysterious planet we call home. In the silence of Lake Tahoe's deep waters, shrouded in darkness for centuries, an extraordinary piece of news suddenly erupted. An unusual sight that made researchers seriously reconsider the nature of mysterious anomalies. There, in this quiet, almost mystical corner of the United States, a fish was found so extraordinary that it was hard to believe it was real. A goldfish just over half a meter long, weighing around 3 kilograms. It was untestable, unusually large for its species. The standard notions about the size of this fish, usually no more than 25 centimeters, were shattered. What happened to this trophy from the depths? Where did this giant specimen come from? Can it be considered an anomaly or perhaps a sign of something greater? Facts suggest that these fish are not the result of a random mutation, but rather of human intervention. Studies found that these fish were released from aquariums owned by enthusiasts and collectors who decided to get rid of their cherished breeds. However, it's not that simple. During water analysis where these fish lived, scientists discovered the presence of special toxins, algae poisons called cyanide. These algae, rich in chemical components, multiply actively in polluted conditions, especially when the ecosystem is unbalanced. Their toxins are not only poisonous to aquatic organisms, but also cause mutations in some species, rapid growth, changes in form, and abnormal behavior patterns. All of this prompts us to wonder, could these toxins have been a catalyst for unusual phenomena? Despite the origins of these specimens, their abnormal development is just one of the phenomena described by scientists. In other eras, long before our days, the question of monstrous-sized marine creatures fascinated naturalists and marine researchers. In the 19th century, records surfaced about giant jellyfish, whose sizes exceeded typical standards by twofold. The domes of such jellyfish reached diameters of 2.5 meters, and their tentacles extended over 36 meters. These sizes were especially impressive. It seemed as though nature itself had decided to test the limits of living creatures. Who would have thought that these beings are not just examples of marine exoticism, but living evidence that nature is capable of much grander manifestations? But all of this is only part of the mystery. The most intriguing, perhaps, is the legend of the Kraken. Many rumors and stories circulate about this legendary monster, which has terrified sailors since ancient times. In these tales, it is described as a giant squid, dangerous and unpredictable, lurking in the dark depths and attacking ships. Then, a few years ago, scientists discovered an extraordinary creature off the coast of Antarctica, a squid slightly over 13 meters long, with a formidable mass of about 500 kilograms. Repeated evidence confirmed that these giants are incomparable to ordinary sea creatures. However, the question of whether even larger squids exist remains open. The depths of the seas and oceans still hold secrets hidden behind dozens of kilometers of dark water horizons. Archaeological discoveries made by underwater explorers open new chapters in history. Some of them point to the existence of long-extinct species, unique and yet unheard of in the age of modern technology. Inhabitants of the deep ocean layers, ominous and mysterious, continue to astonish and attract scientific interest. Their scale, size, and complex anatomy create the impression that humanity has yet to master all knowledge about these mysterious depths. These marine giants are intricate living mechanisms, capable of adapting to conditions of utter darkness and low pressure. What else is hidden in the depths? What other secrets does the underwater world hold? Stories of large squids and giant jellyfish only fuel curiosity about unexplored regions of the ocean, reminding us that the boundaries of human knowledge are far from being fully defined. At the core of all these mysteries lies one fundamental question. What exactly drives these living beings to reach such sizes? Which mechanisms, natural or induced by environmental conditions, enable them to develop beyond normal limits? Are these specimens sometimes mere evidence of even greater, far more terrifying or astonishing life forms? And indeed, perhaps the depths of the ocean hide something more than just large squids and anomalous jellyfish. Maybe beyond our understanding, entire civilizations, monsters, living witnesses of an ancient era that humanity has yet only begun to glimpse, are concealed. If we think about it, what else is hidden in the dark and deep horizons of the seas? It sparks a desire to seek answers. Beyond the impenetrable thick of water, there lies something greater than just tentacle clusters or colossal bodies. Are there new, still undiscovered species? Could it be that nature is still keeping its secrets at the very bottom, beyond the realm of the known? What if the large marine creatures we observe and study are only the tip of the iceberg, and inside there are true giants, older and more powerful? These questions trouble the minds of scientists and romantics, biologists and archaeologists alike. They demand answers, and it is precisely this mystery that makes one of the most enigmatic and impenetrable regions, the depths of the ocean, one of the most captivating fields in the quest for truth. So, continuing to examine mysterious anomalies and unexplained sizes of living beings, we arrive at an inevitable conclusion. Nature knows how to surprise us. It has not halted its development, but instead hides behind the secrets of the depths. Perhaps there is some limit to its capabilities, or conversely, everything is merely the beginning of a story we are not yet able to fully comprehend. This means that the entire universe is not only for us humans, but also for the mystery hidden behind you and me, beyond our gazes and within the boundaries of our knowledge. Behind those dark depths lies not just the unknown, perhaps there are unrevealed secrets, living testimonies of ancient times, or even glimpses of other civilizations. All this incomprehensible grandeur reminds us that we are only beginning our journey to unravel the mysteries of nature, and perhaps beyond the next frontier, something greater than we can imagine awaits us. Could it be that just beyond lies something that radically changes our view of the world? To partially understand this means to penetrate into the heart of nature itself, to alter our perceptions of the scale of life, its possibilities, and its limits. And all of this is only the beginning. In the endless horizons of water, where waves gently lap, lie secrets that humanity has not yet fully realized. Mysterious giants, born of ecological upheavals, mutations, and our interference. Ancient waters of the Mississippi hold not only traces of life from bygone eras, but also anomalous forms that in recent years have begun to go beyond the boundaries of the familiar. The most striking evidence is enormous shellfish, freshwater fish that grow remarkably fast, reaching over 2 meters in length and weighing up to 230 kilograms or more. Undoubtedly, these are not just fish. The images that continue to evoke tears of shock show specimens exceeding 2 meters in length and weighing over 50 kilograms. And surprisingly, this is not an isolated case. Such specimens push against the norms created in the minds of scientists, breaking conventional ideas about the sizes of freshwater creatures. There is a certain prototype of a new reality here, into which humans have actively intervened by launching chains of factors that are today difficult to fully control. But the Mississippi is only one of the water arteries where a new dimension of biological anomaly has penetrated. Along the shores of Florida, giant marine fish have been caught, reminiscent of sea monsters from ancient times. The giant Goliath fish is a striking example of this. Its body reaches 2.5 meters in length, and according to some expert estimates, individuals of such size may weigh over 300 kilograms. Could such creatures appear unexpectedly and become part of today's ecosystem? This is a question that troubles not only scientists, but also everyone who monitors natural dynamics. Memories of ancient marine giants emerge from the depths of history, when fish of such size weighed at least several tons, and their enormity opened up new horizons for the imagination. Let us recall, in the 1960s, a case was recorded in Florida where a giant fish weighing over 308 kilograms was caught using a spotted mackerel bait. Subsequently, analyzing this data, the scientific community began to suggest that giant fish and marine creatures could reach half a ton or more, and if one believes in deeper statistics and testimonies, even more. Essentially, there is a possibility that the true sizes of these beings challenge all existing notions about their maximum dimensions. These facts lead us to a grim truth. We are not just observing nature, we are seeing its distorted version, born from human interference. Returning to the sea, it is worth mentioning the story from 8 years ago, when at a big game fishing competition, a man caught a mako shark. The sense of power emanating from this monster was almost mystical. 3 hours of struggle, resistance that could be heard in the water and air, and ultimately, this giant, just under 4 meters long and weighing over half a ton, was hoisted onto the boat. This is not just a fish, it is a testament to a new dynamic in the development of marine inhabitants, indicating the possibility of increasing their sizes under changing environmental conditions. An even more sensational discovery occurred 2 years ago. Off the coast of Acapulco, a creature, a hammerhead shark, was caught, measuring over 5.5 meters and weighing less than 68 kilograms. But the main fact was that it was pregnant. Inside, there were more than 50 embryos. This not only confirms the theory of the potential for rapid reproduction of such giants, but also raises concerns. It means that currents, light, temperature changes, pollution levels, all of these factors influence not only the quality of life, but also the growth rate of individuals, 2 meters or more in size, which are rapidly appearing in our waters. Scientists increasingly lean towards the idea that human intervention, creating conditions, unintended mutations, is not by chance producing such unexpected results. Global pollution, increasing ocean acidity, climate change. All of this, according to experts, could have laid the groundwork for new phenomena. Unusual individuals are beginning to appear in our waters, not just odd, but true monsters, whose sizes are growing each year. Coastal and oceanic zones are transforming into open laboratories of nature, where ancient giants, preserved for millennia in the shadows, are beginning to reveal their true sizes due to mutations and ecological disharmony. These massive Florida stories are just the tip of the iceberg, evidence that nature, deprived of balance, can surprise, adapt, and grow monsters. Numerous testimonies and scientific analyses indicate that we are on the brink of a new era. Uncertainty and ambiguity fill the waters, while research methods help us develop new hypotheses about these giants, comparable in scale to ancient myths. But the main question remains open. Can humans, by creating conditions for rapid growth and mutations, completely alter the natural balance? Can interference in the fragile chain of life generate new forms, capable of destroying everything established over centuries? And the key issue is whether we can contain the consequences of our actions. What awaits us if these monsters, unintentionally born, cease to be under control? Can we prepare for an encounter with creatures whose size surpasses all imagination? And what will happen if these giants become an integral part of the oceans and rivers, disrupting familiar ecosystems and creating a new chaotic chain of events? The end of this story is still unwritten, and the question of the future is not just an exaggeration, but rather an alarming cry in the dark. Are we ready to face the new giants created by our own hands? Are we prepared to confront the consequences we have long anticipated? Or is this only the beginning of a chain of events that will ultimately change the Earth's surface, its aquatic and terrestrial spaces? These questions demand urgent analysis, serious reflection, and awareness. It's time to say, it's time to stop and think. But is it dangerous to stop? Will our fear lead to something that, beyond our limits, will break the familiar world? After all, when nature demonstrates its power, it does so for the second time. Only this time, with human involvement, his mistakes, consequences, modern boundaries, and expanded possibilities.